So, so this is one of my very favorite pictures. So this is my postcard actually, and this crack is actually like it was in my bag. So like that's why I scanned this postcard. So you can see it's the name of this painting is Lady Lilith, and this is from Delaware Art Museum. So I have a very fond memory of this painting. So what happened is that I didn't know anything about Delaware Art Museum, and I didn't know anything like about their collection or nothing. So I just went there in the train, and then so I like just entered the main gallery, and then I the first thing I saw was this painting. And I was so astonished. It's just so beautiful, like the colors, the details, and forget everything. If you just get in and then like you see all those like luscious hair and everything, it's just so pretty. And then I just stood there for so long and I started writing in my phone. So yeah, it's like one of my very fond memories. So again, so then I knew about the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood at the first time there. And so the thing is, Lady Lilith is a demoness, and like it's like in Jewish mythology, it's like said that like she was also a wife or consort of Adam or something. So she is a demoness, but like you can see like how like powerful this image is. Like she's looking at her like mirror, like, and then like her face, like she's just so confident and so powerful in this image. And also you can see like these bands in her hand. It's actually like mothers, like they put that band on their kids to protect them from Lady Lilith, and she is wearing it on her wrist herself. That's like she doesn't care. And like so, and then like all these flowers, and then like everything is so jam packed in this painting. There's no space, so I'm coming back to it, but like now I can tell you like it's just so beautiful and so fresh. So yeah, and again, I didn't know about the time, the place, the like the painter, anything, but it just caught my eye instantly. So the next picture, so after that, what happened is this is the next painting again that caught my attention. There were several Pre-Raphaelite paintings there. Like they actually have the biggest Pre-Raphaelite painting collection outside UK. I didn't know that as well. I just knew that like now when I was making these slides. But yeah, so like anyway, so this painting is known as Found. This is also by Rossetti. And in this painting, more than the painting, the story caught my attention. So the story is like that this is a woman. She was a village woman. Now she is in London, and now she is in prostitution. And then this is early morning in London, and then like this man, probably he was her lover or something, and he actually came to London to sell the lamps. And then when he is going back or something, then he found her, and then he is trying to tell her that let's go home, but she is like so sad and so ashamed of her condition. She doesn't want to show her face. And you can see, like, if you look closely with there are like hands and everything, she's trying to force it back. And then the lamp is like under the net. There are so many symbols, and you can see like this is the same woman. So yeah, like Pre-Raphaelite has like several women model, like who would model for them. But like the thing again that caught my attention was not the beauty, it was the subject, because I didn't find like a subject like this before, right? Like, so all the like models or portraits or everything was like of like very aristocrat woman or like things like that. So I am talking again about England, and that's like a decade ago of the impressionism in France. So like it's ahead of impressionism. So the like painting at that era is very stiff, very like overused models and everything. So a story, like a whole story behind a painting, and a story like this was very new to me, that they are trying to put a message. So then I read about the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, like on one of the walls or something. So I couldn't find like good uh like pictures in the internet today, so please like find better quality, because like yeah, I cannot show or say like how beautiful the details are with these very low res pictures. So about Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, like again, they were a group of very young people, like maybe like 18 to 20, and then like three of them were painters, like Millet and Rossetti and a Hunt, I guess. And then like there were some poets and everything. Like Rossetti himself was a poet. And then they were finding the same thing as I am saying, that like everything is very stiff around them, very like overused. So they were saying that like the Italian painter Raphael, like people are still copying him. So they were like, what can we do? Can we go back? Like if we go back from Renaissance, like before Renaissance, then like the paintings were not like that. Those paintings were simple. The like all the deities, all like even Mary, Jesus, their stories, everything was simple. And then like, can we bring that back? Those like little things, little details, like can we like bring them back? So then they've named themselves Pre-Raphaelite, not like, like Pre-Raphaelite and the Brotherhood. So the interesting thing about this Brotherhood is that like they are not against Raphael. They are saying that the thing like the everybody is just copying Raphael. That hurt them. And I understand this because like, so again, this is a time like when there was like Karl Marx like wrote his book, like a new era is beginning, the industrialization is there, the trains started and they could go out of London. And then also there are like the social classes are like changing, moving. There are a lot of working people now, like they are coming in the like societal thing. And then the now the students and everybody are also thinking about those, right? So they are moving. And it also like, I if you know about the kolol period of Bangla poetry, that everybody was riding like Rabindranath, like everybody was riding like Rabindranath. And then like the Kolol, the magazine, they started writing in a new style, like a very revolutionary style. Like so all of them, like Jibanananda, then like Kazi Nazrul Islam, then like I Buddhadev Boshu, like they actually wanted to write something new, something fresh, and that changed Bangla poetry forever. So, like, I think like every time, like there's some kind of revolution which is not super long, but like it's very influential. So about Ophelia, Millet actually went like outside of London, and then like he took all his um like his colors and everything, and he went outside, and then like every single flower, I'm so sad that the picture is so low res, but like each of the like flowers and each of the grass and everything is so perfect that the botany teachers actually used this painting to teach flowers and like of like different plants to students with this painting. So Ophelia was Shakespeare's character, right? So she was the fiancée of like Hamlet, and then she actually drowned herself in river. So now this was the first image where he is showing Ophelia getting drowned, like not already drowned, but like that water grabbing herself, like her in that moment. And he actually he drew all of these background first, and then he came back and then to London, and then he's in his studio in a bathtub, like then like this model was Lizzie Siddal. So Lizzie Siddal was the model of most of the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood's pictures, and then so she was a painter herself later, and then she was Rossetti's wife. So like there is very few women in this brotherhood, because so yeah, so like it's said that like the candles went down and Millet didn't see, and so she almost like froze in that cold, but she didn't say anything, but she never modeled for him again. But like you can see her face like in the painting, as if like Millet was just capturing that moment. And again, I'm saying it like we will like say about like capturing a moment a lot of times in like impressionisms, but it's like ahead of impressionism, and it's also ahead of photography. So the daguerreotype, I think, like kind of photography, like they are there, but it's not super popular yet. So yeah, so they were saying that these moments, these teeny moments, are really important. And then they like this was Mariana by Millet as well. And then in this painting, he is showing like this was again from Shakespeare's Measure for Measure, and then Tennyson wrote a poem about her later. So in this, like every painting of them has a backstory. Like what is their interpretation of the story? So they are trying to retell the story. So in this one, Mariana is just, so she was a woman whose dowry was lost. So her fiance broke off the wedding, and she was just like sad. And in this painting, she is not just sad, she's frustrated, she's angry. And like, why not? Like, and she's like doing some like sewing work, and then she's just so tired of that she like stands up, and then she just like, yeah. So if you look at her face, like every single detail in here, it's just like very sad, very frustrating time of her life. And like the Raphaelite Brotherhood were very much interested about the women's like about the women, like of course their age was like they were very young, and more than that, like the working woman was like coming at that time, right? So the roles of the women were shifting, and then the very like very Victorian, very Puritan, like those things were shifting, so they were very interested in working women's life. So the awakening conscience was like another very like again the Laura's image, like just I cannot explain a lot, but in here like the woman is like getting out of like his um like um worms, and like, so probably she was her mistress, and now she knows that like he's not going to marry him ever. And if you know about like that era in Britain, and also like the whole babu culture that happened in Kolkata later, it's like the very Victorian family like structure where like women are extremely like pure, like they are very like very cultured, men are very cultured in their like constraints. But then again there are these like brothels, the prostitutions, like everything outside their home, like they have like a dual life. So these things were also happening in Britain, and I think that hurt them, the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, because they were trying to fight everything, and these were not the subject of art at that moment. At that moment, everybody would probably like draw a flower, or like a vase, like a still image or something, not about a girl like thinking about what is going to be in her life, right? So, and also like this was her story as well. She was a woman, like they all knew. And then in this painting, there is this bird that's trying to get out of the like window. There is this cat which is like looking like that, and there is so many symbolisms if you want to see. So what they were trying to do is they would think about the poems, and then they would put like all the literal meanings, all the metaphorical meanings, everything in their paintings. And then Rossetti actually wrote poems in his paintings, like in the side or somewhere. So the subject wise, the everything, they were trying to prove a point, and they were heavily criticized. Like, and it happens every time, like you start a revolution in an art culture or like any culture or anything, there was a huge um criticism for all of them. And then I think even the queen wanted to like see their pictures just to know that like what's this fuss about. So yeah, and then but they proved their point already. So then I think the next thing is that they were not only like thinking about the human life at that time, at that period in Britain, like actually like the natural sciences like came up, like the like very like botany, maybe zoology. Then they were very much interested in like the geology of their own country, and then like they were trying to go outside and see every single detail. And this our English course is by hand, and then like in this like painting, like you can see like this is a coast side of their country, but like every like the rock, how the rocks are formed, you can see that the like the sheeps, like they are like looking at them. And then the straight shape, like, and some people say that Hunt was also thinking about the future of England, that like they are so lost maybe in the cliff, like what will happen, they don't know. So something like that. And then like each of the, but they are very famous for their very extreme details, because they again would go outside and paint those pictures long before impressionism came in France. Okay, so this was a portrait of John Ruskin. John Ruskin was like the only person who would like help them, right? Like he was a art critic, art like painter himself, and like he would write about them. And then Millet actually went with him like to do his portrait, but after that trip they had a like very bad situation in their personal lives, and they like, so yeah. So I think the next thing before I go into their influence is that all of them like they were again very young, and then the revolutionary, like the ideas and everything, but they really couldn't like hold that grip for a very long time, especially Rossetti. Like Rossetti actually he strayed a lot, like he stopped like selling his paintings and everything, and then like he was a heavy drinker, and like yeah, his life, like he just made it very miserable. That's all I can say. And then I think like that also made me think about like the revolutions. Like any revolutions are like very influential. However like small it is, like it creates a spark, right? Like suppose this was Brown, Fort Madox Brown. He was not exactly a pre-Raphaelite, but he was like a associate of them. He was older than them, and then like in this picture, like he actually again drew it outside but in the mid noon, and then like he actually put his models, like she was actually standing there in the noon, and then like you can look at her like cheeks, and you can see like how bright they are and everything. And so that light, those shadows, everything was real. So Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood actually brought in like real life in painting in Britain, like in Victorian period. And then this English Autumn is again by Brown, and he drew it like for 2 years, I guess, from his window every day. And if you, I couldn't do it, but like if you look like zoom in and zoom in and zoom in, you can see like tons of stories going on. Like there is just like one girl and a boy, but there is like somebody's picking apples, somebody's doing this, somebody's doing that, and then the whole picture is that like everything he saw from his window. And you can also see like this is a round picture because he's looking through a glass, right? So everything is so detailed. And I actually have this postcard, I couldn't find it, but like Flaming June was by Leighton, and then like again it's a lot later. He is not related with PRB at all, but it said that like even Flaming June was inspired by them. Like this was so bright, so like I can tell you how bright this painting is actually. So yeah, so I think like they influenced the whole like art form. They influenced a lot other than just their own country and their own time, because the last time when I was talking about Sunil Gupta's photography, one of his recent series was the new Pre-Raphaelites. He actually took pictures of transgender people and like Hijra people in his country in India, and then like he actually named them New Pre-Raphaelite because they are fighting against their like roles and their like government and everything. So like whenever like Pre-Raphaelites became an icon now of like the art history. And I think like I really like their images. And yeah, and I think like that's it for today. Bye.